Hi everyone, this is Jen from BritMums, and I am here after a little bit of technical difficulty with Di Coke, who is coming to talk to us all about giveaways and competitions on your blog. Hi Di.
Hi there, Jen. Sorry, it's been a bit of a delay getting up and
Well,
running.
yes, and Jo Bryan may be joining us. She has a lot of experience and tips and advice from a blogger's perspective, but is having trouble connecting. So hopefully she can join us. If not, we'll be sure and link out to her later. But let's start things off. So Di, first, as a blogger, why is it valuable to run comps and giveaways on your blog?
The main reason you do it is to get traffic to your blog. That's why most people run them. It's just a really great way to get people visiting your blog and get people, particularly for your sponsors, because sponsors can get people liking Facebook pages, following them on Twitter, visiting the website, getting people's names for mailing lists. It's a very kind of a clever way, really, for them to get, immediate access to 500 potential new customers. And so if you can offer that on your blog because you've got good traffic on your blog, then it's just a great thing to do. You can get freebies as a result as a blogger. You can also get paid to run them, and the amount of hits that you'll get on your site is great for hopefully quite a small amount of work.
So, and there's a difference between competitions and giveaways. Can you, like in a sentence or two, tell us what that difference is?
I always use the term giveaways on blogs because it is a global term for any kind of prize promotion. Essentially, a prize draw is where the winner is picked at random. That's what most blog giveaways are. And a competition is where the winner is decided on merit, either by judging or by, say, the highest number of votes. If you use the term giveaway, it covers everything, which is why I usually refer to the term giveaway if I'm talking about blog promotions.
Right. Okay, and so tell us what works on giveaways. Is it having fabulous prizes? Is it making it easy to enter? Just talk us through a little bit of what you think about when you put up a giveaway on Super Lucky Die.
I like a creative competition, and I love to get people interacting and get some kind of emotional connection with my audience. I also like feel-good competitions where, for example, if you're doing family giveaways, it's nice to get the family involved. So I'll ask people to say, what is your child's favourite bedtime story? Can you send me a photograph of you and your child cooking in the kitchen? Things like that. That's what I love, because I think it's a much nicer type of blog away than click to enter, retweet to enter, and that's the kind of thing I enjoy. So as an entrant, I think people, they want it to be relatively easy to enter, and really a photo can be quite easy to enter. Sometimes if it's just a random prize draw though, and you've got to do 15 different things, which could be sending a tweet, following on blog loving, join my email list, circle me on Google Plus, pin this on Pinterest, follow me on Instagram. I think that's too much, and really I think it's nice if you do a lot of giveaways on your blog to perhaps concentrate on two of those things for each giveaway you run. Have a mandatory entry, which really should be commenting on the blog, because you want interaction on your blog, you want lots of comments. Have that as the one thing people must do, and then give them bonus entries for other things. Don't force them into following you in 25 different ways. It's just not necessary. I think that puts off a lot of people who perhaps they're not regular competition entrants. They come to a blog and they see too many things to do, and they just turn away and think, I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't really want to do all these things. So don't scare them away by asking them to do too much. Oh, prize-wise as well, Jen. Sorry, that was an important thing that Jo and I chatted about. And if she does manage to join us, she'll agree that it doesn't need to be a huge prize. I see a lot of people, not so much bloggers, but a lot of companies, they go for a prize like an iPad, whereas actually, iPads are 10 a penny in competitions at the moment. What's more important is to choose something that's relevant to your website or your blog readership, and that can be a small prize. Jo was saying to me how many entries she gets when she gives away a few bars of chocolate is extraordinary. She said recently she did a hamper, £150 hamper, and then a prize of about £10 worth of chocolate, and she got maybe, you know, twice as many entries for the chocolate. You know, it depends on kind of the audience you're looking for. I think there's a lot of mums out there who want to win chocolate. So even if it's a small prize, if you've got, you know, magic word in there, chocolate, shopping vouchers, supermarket vouchers as well. It doesn't matter if it's a small amount, you will still get a lot of entries.
And you mentioned reasons why people might be reluctant to join comps or giveaways. I would think I'm always aware of whenever I have to put any information in, like my email or whatnot. So is it good to stay away from those kind of things, or are those just kind of part and parcel? We have to get used to them if we're running giveaways or taking part in them.
Those of us who do enter competitions as a hobby, we have usually a separate email address which we will use for those sort of things, and that would maybe be an email address that you use for Facebook as well, because with blog competitions a lot of the time you'll be logging in using something like Rafflecopter or Gleam, and that's going to kind of use your Facebook email address to contact you. So what I have is I have a second email which I use for all my competition things, and then I know that kind of all the junk will go into that folder rather than in with my friends and work emails and things like that. But I think it's part and parcel really of the hobby of competitions, is that you are going to get, a lot of the time you'll get mail, but really that should be in the T&Cs as well. If you're entering a giveaway, it will tell you if your email address is going to be used in future to add to a mailing list. That needs to be clear when you're entering. The majority of times actually it won't. When you enter a blog giveaway, you're just entering that giveaway, you're not going to be added to a mailing list, and if you are, that should be clear somewhere to people that that's what they're doing with your information. But generally there's not too much to be worried about.
Okay, so you touched on terms and conditions. Let's talk about those a bit more. That's something at Brit Mums, we obviously spend a lot of time thinking about our T's and C's when we run giveaways. So it has to have a start date, it has to have an end date, it has to say what the prize is. What other kinds of things, you know, is there an easy template you can go and find? Are there big mistakes that people make with their T's and C's that are easy to avoid?
What I did when I did the presentation at Brit Mums earlier this year is I put together a document, the do's and don'ts of blog giveaways, and as part of that I had some very simple templates at the end that bloggers could work with to get their own standard T&Cs done. Because, you know, there are certain elements that you have to have, as you mentioned, a closing date, a start date, not usually relevant unless it's, you know, you're advertising the competition, the giveaway in advance. The closing date is really important, and I think the closing date should feature in your blog post title, or make it very obvious, you know, before you actually enter the competition what the date is. A lot of bloggers leave that out because they think, well, I'm using something like Rafflecopter or Gleam, which counts down to the closing date. But you have to have that closing date clear for people so that they know that when they click on your blog, they know that that is actually they're still able to enter. It's really important. So T&Cs, yes, the closing date, what the prize is, also how you're choosing the winner. Is it going to be at random, or is it going to be judged, you know, the kind of the most original entry? How long it's going to be before you let the winner know that they've won? How long before they get the prize? Who's sending the prize? You know, there's quite a lot of things that should be covered off, and it makes it sound very complicated, but really you just want to put everything in those T&Cs so nobody can query it. So you've got all the answers there, so nobody's going to be tweeting you and saying, well, when does it close? How do I enter? What do I have to do? What's, you know, if you get those standard T&Cs right, and you can use them in every giveaway that you do and just tweak them to suit the one that you're doing.
And for closing dates, once it's set, right? Or can you, if you don't get many people coming into your giveaway, can you extend those?
In the UK, we've got the ASA, basically, the Advertising Standards Authority. They keep an eye on everything that's going on, every kind of, you know, advertisement or promotion, marketing, things like that. And basically, you can get in trouble with them if you don't stick to your terms and conditions. And what you have to do is, if you're running a promotion, you have to stick to the CAP code. And the CAP code says that you can only change a closing date in exceptional circumstances. And that doesn't mean, oh, this so popular that I think I'll extend it by a week, or it's kind of odd. It's really not popular, so we're just going to close it early anyway. But it has to be a very, very good reason for you to actually change that closing date. So essentially, it's a no, you can't. And a lot of people do change it, and you see more and more people now. They will register a complaint with the ASA that this company has extended a closing date, and I'm going to complain. And then the ASA will put a ruling against that company on their weekly email, and that company will basically, they will get a big telling off from the ASA, and they will feature on the ASA's kind of baddies list, as I like to call it, people who have done things that they shouldn't really have done. And there's big companies do it, and they should know better. But regularly I find more people are getting annoyed about this, and they're putting in complaints. So it's not worth the risk at all. Just kind of put a closing date there and stick with it. And the reason people do get angry is because if it's for example, you want someone to write a blog post, that's a lot of hard work. And someone might spend a lot of time on a blog post and get it in just before the closing date, only for the company to say, oh, we're going to extend it till next month. And that's not fair on the people who have kind of worked hard to get it in on time, to stick with the T and C's, that there's then going to be 50% more entries when it closes and this extended date, and that's why it's not fair to do it.
Right, and nobody wants to be on the baddies list,
No.
do they? So what about marketing your giveaway once you've put it up? There are forums where you can go and promote it, excuse me, to compers, and should you pursue, is that a good path to pursue, or as a blogger who's trying to create and grow an audience, is it better to just stick to your usual social media outlets to promote what you're doing?
It all depends what you're trying to achieve. If you're working with a sponsor who wants the highest number of entries possible, then you really need to be sharing that on competition forums. So you can add it for free at theprizefinder.com and loquax.co.uk. I also host my own monthly linky at Superlucky, where you can just add it and you don't need to link back to me either, and there's probably more than 200 monthly giveaways on that list. So you will get loads of traffic. Also, there's the Money Saving Expert forum, but you can't add to that yourself. It's very controversial if you're found to be self-promoting. Generally, people who are compers will pick up on your giveaway and add it to the forum if it's a good prize, though, so you'll probably end up on there. The problem you get with things like that, though, is you do get a lot of compers who enter for everything. And this is a problem. If, for example, you're giving away something that's, say it's tickets, or, for example, prizes for pregnant women, something that's specific. You don't want people entering that who don't really want it, who just want a freebie. In that case, I would say ask them when they comment to enter to think about why they want to win it. Kind of tell me who this prize is for. Tell me why you want to win this. If you win this voucher, what will you spend it on the maternity wear website? So it's almost putting in a little bit of a stumbling block. So those compers get there and they think, actually, I don't really want to win this, and they'll turn away. And then the people who do comment are people who would genuinely want that prize. So that's a good compromise. So you can still get it on the forums, but you don't get all the freebie hunters entering every time.
And so what have been some of your favorite giveaways that you've done yourself, or even that you've seen out there, that you just thought, wow, this was fun or effective or a great prize, or something that just kind of got you going?
I actually don't do that many on my blog, because I love to do the creative ones, and they take quite a bit of admin, because I like people to do photo entries and things like that, and to actually to track those and to organise an independent judge, which is what you need for a judged competition. Takes a lot of work, but I love the ones where I get people's children involved. So I've recently done one to design a pencil case for Ryman, and that had loads of entries. And what I try to do with those as well, I don't like to judge if children are involved, because I don't want to upset anyone. So I have a judged prize for the most creative, and then I also offer a prize to a random entrant. So then you get more people entering, because they don't think, well, my child's not so good at design, I don't think my child will win, because everybody's got a chance if you split it. One judge prize, one random prize. So I like that kind of giveaway, because it to me, that's kind of fairer, and it's rewarding the creativity, but it's also a chance for everybody to get a prize. But I see so many at the moment that are selfie competitions, and they're really easy to enter because you don't need anyone to take the photograph. It's a really, it's a really fun way to get the word out. And if you're, if you're working with a sponsor on your blog, suggest to them, well, how about people do, upload a selfie or a photo of their child playing with your toy, or, this kind of the food product, whatever it is, a selfie with the product. Because then it's giving the sponsor loads of user-generated content that they can use, themselves to kind of promote the competition, and it's a lot more fun and interaction rather than just asking people to click a button on Rafflecopter. But those are the kind of things that I love to see, because I just think it means people are having a bit more fun with their promotions, and they're getting more of a interaction and a conversation with the kind of the target audience, with people who are really interested in what they've got to offer.
Right. And should we be using things like Rafflecopter or other those kind of competition or giveaway functionalities out there? Or is it enough to just say, leave a comment below and you're in the draw, and I'll use random.org to draw you out?
It depends, again, that if you are offering, if you don't think you're going to get many entries, and sometimes it's hard to tell, if it's, say, less than 100 entries, then you can do it as just a comment. But really, beyond that, if you're sharing it on competition forums, the admin is going to be really difficult, because if you've got comments, you need to go down and check that there's only one comment from people, so you need to exclude replies before you can actually get your number of entries to put in at random.org. If you use Rafflecopter and Gleam, that's doing the job for you. They are actually kind of getting all the entries together, and Rafflecopter will give you a full breakdown of every entry, so that when you've got your winning entry, you can check that they did what they said that they did. Mm-hmm. And that just kind of, it should really relieve the pressure. Although I must add that recently a few bloggers have had a problem where somebody has managed to write an automated script, and he was entering tens of thousands of times into Rafflecopter giveaways on blogs, and it caused a huge headache. I know for Jo, one of the giveaways she was doing, and a few other bloggers, and it was one guy who managed to set up this clever script that would log him in and enter over and over again in the same giveaway. But in this situation, Rafflecopter actually managed to block his IP addresses. They were very helpful. So I would definitely kind of recommend that Rafflecopter is a good choice if you want to take a lot of the stress out of it.
These are great tips. So what are your last couple of tips or pieces of advice? I'm a blogger. I've got something, like 2 or 3 things or lots of things to give away. Like, what are your last-minute tips of advice?
I would just say, if you've got the time, have some fun with it. Think about who your target audience are and what will kind of, what they will want to do, what they'll be into doing, what they're interested in, and try and tailor that giveaway to something that they're really going to enjoy and that you will enjoy as well. And I would also recommend that if you are a blogger and do giveaways, do try and spend time entering some yourself, because I find loads of people give away prizes, and I say, well, do you enter any? And, oh, no, because the chance of winning on blog giveaways is brilliant. It's really, really good. If every month I will go through the giveaways that are on my Linky on my website, and I usually win 3 or 4 prizes a month from blogs. So even though you might log on and see that the Rafflecopter widget says 2,000 entries, actually that's because somebody's getting 100 entries for every button they click, and there's never actually that many people taking part. So it's good to support your fellow bloggers and just have a bit of fun with competitions, definitely.
Oh, great advice. Run competitions, enter competitions, have fun, and make sure your T's and C's are in order.
Yes.
So, Di, thanks so much for joining us today. We'll have a post on the Brit Mums blog that points back to the post you did following your appearance at Brit Mums Live with those templates for terms and conditions and lots of other advice. And this is also available on our YouTube channel. Please follow us on YouTube, Brit Mums TV, and be sure and circle Di. Follow her on Twitter, and go check out the regular roundup on Super Lucky Di. Di, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.